Jeez. So we made it here. I just parked. It's, yeah, about noon, a little later. I thought we could maybe catch the airplanes. We're right next to the airport. Parking was a little tough, so I think that's a good sign on attendance, but we'll get up there. Pretty windy. Thanks, man. So it's $10 to get in. Pretty big show. I've been here once before. It's fairly crowded right now. I think they have a side room too. We'll see what we can find. So this is kind of like the side room. There's a couple of tables out here. It's like literally the opposite side that we came in on. So that gives you an idea.
Thank you very much.
This is Joe's table. Buy, sell, repeats. I'll throw up a thing. He's into the 90s cards.
Thanks.
So this is just a Pokemon table, but it's like interesting how they do the display cases. It's kind of like a cheap way to do it, but if you're trying to set up at a show, like you can buy these on the cheap, and they basically just pick them up. This is where they're signing. So it's 1:30 and it's still going pretty strong. It's not necessarily super easy to get to a table. The room's huge.
They just did it for the shop. So the set was called Sweet Shop. They already started regular autograph. Sign up as basketball, a piece of the basketball. And it's on the card. But this is like a variation, like a fun variation. But the baseball version of Sweet Shop, so they just did some crossovers.
Yeah, live it's up.
Every other night. No, so yeah, it doesn't end until 5. Yeah, I'll go with this. I'm sorry. How much are you asking for the Kawan?
There's 100.
30 and 200.
Plenty of wax. Gonna do a break. It's like 2 o'clock, so you can see like I think from like 2 on at most shows is like the optimum time. You can actually walk up to the tables. That's why I've started to come later. Maybe you miss out on some cards, but then like you can actually just walk up and like look, and it saves quite a bit of time. So any of these tables I can squeeze into where before it would just be, it's tough to like walk up and look at.
Unless they switch seats. So like I need to know what dates are
It's got like signed stuff. It's got baseballs too. Funko Pops. There's like signed CDs. And like some signed Find magazines. So a little bit of everything here. Wrestling. Just here with Justman Sports Cards. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video of the card show. I'm going to show my pickups and some of my thoughts on the day. My lens might have been dirty on some of the scenes, but apologies on that. I was just pulling my phone in and out a lot. So these are the 2 cards I picked up. Picked up from the same guy. Scored them for $60. This one was a little tricky. It said out of 50, but these are out of 500. So I got it cheaper than that. And then the Gallery of Heroes. This is like the first year format for baseball. So, and Tony Gwynn, just look at his batting stats. He's one of the 90s players I will get behind. The drive was a little longer for me today, like an hour and 45. Super windy. Some delays on the Altamont and some of the bridges. You have to pay a toll on the way over there, but not the way back. So I spent a little longer in the car than I wanted to, but well worth it. You could say that you have to throw in the price of the gas, and it was $10 to get in, like I showed on the show. But kind of what I'm learning is it's more about community. I'm starting to get to know some of the guys that always have the cards that I kind of collect, and I tried to show some of the. I mainly showed showcases in the videos of stuff I collect, and I believe that's kind of the audience that watches my videos collects similar things. 90s inserts. Some dealers were. I had the money to pick up a big card today because I even heard a dealer mention it to someone. He told the guy, I'm at comps, plus you're not having to pay tax. And on a big card, that's a big thing. So if you're spending $500-600, that's $50 in tax, and shipping, which is another $5 or $10. So it's just the shipping I always consider when you go to a card show. That's kind of your gas money. So I would have paid $10 in shipping if I had bought these from 2 different people. But then there was some people that were, say, on a $300, $400, $500 card, they were $200 above comps. And then you ask about wiggle room, and you just realize you're not even going to get anywhere close to comps. And I'm willing to be patient and snipe the right auctions. What else do I have to say? Joe Lynn, Buy Sell Repeats on Instagram. He's also in the 90s Facebook group that I'm active in, and I would recommend anyone being active in if you're into 90s sports cards. Some deals there. Good community too. You can ask questions. They're always willing to help out. We talked a bit about wine and where he gets collections. He actually buys collections from China and the Philippines. He has some connections over there. And he's just been in it for so long that people know and trust him, that they'll come to him to sell cards to him. And they know he needs a little wiggle room, but he'll pay fair, especially for 90s stuff that's hard to comp. And that was one of my biggest takeaways today is like connections are important. So Joe and another guy I was talking to at the table, they were like, did you see the guy with all the refractors? And I was like, no. And he's like, it's not actually set up. So they took me to a guy that had a 2-row box filled with 90s refractors, and the guy let me look through them, but he wasn't set up at the table, and it's just kind of building those connections. And that was my big takeaway from today is people are firm or a little above comps on certain rare cards. and that might be a bummer for the buyer, but I think it's good for the market just because people aren't willing to fire sell their cards. So take it for what you will. This is 03, by the way. So it's LeBron's year, rookie year, which I mean, try to buy a box of 2003 Topps Chrome. It's expensive. And that's all I have. Feel free to like and subscribe, and hope everyone's doing well. I did pretty well there for a while, making the push to, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers so I can get I'll start to monetize the channel at that point. So that's kind of the goal, and that just helps with the hobby budget essentially. So the goal is 2 a day, or not 2 a day, once every 2 days is the goal. I didn't hit it last week, but I think the week before that I hit it, so I am being better. I'm trying to put out more shorts to see if that helps with the logarithm any. I'm not sure that it does. So I'll quit rambling and just end it here.